I'm Logan Franklin. I'm GAT. I chose GAT Sport because they're a highly established, reputable brand whose mission is to take the athlete to the highest level. This resonates with me because my ultimate dream is to become a Mr. Olympia champion one day. GAT Sport has devoted over 20 years of bringing the highest quality products to the market, focusing on performance and life extension. I am Logan Franklin, the Texas Oak, and I am GAT Sport.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Ronline Report. Today's guest, you know him well. He is one of the greatest classic physique pros in the world today. He's one of the greatest posers in the world today. He is the Texas Oak, Logan Franklin. What's up, man?
What's up?
Yeah. Trying to hype you up.
Hey, I'll take it.
I follow you on Instagram and Facebook. I appreciate you being on Facebook because not all the athletes are. They think it's for old people or something. Shame on you. Anyway, so super impressed with the improvements you made to your physique over these past few months, and as always, how you stay so lean while doing it. I love that. Shows it can be done because you're living proof. But I'll tell you what is more impressive, it's more cool for me is how you have your family in all your photos, more so than your bodybuilding stuff. And you can see how much you genuinely love being a husband, a father, how happy it makes you.
Yeah.
And, your son, I think you put as many pictures, if not more, of your son, Reese, I forgot his name, you corrected me, as you do of yourself. I mean, you're obsessed with this child, as you should be. So yeah, tell me about that, because a lot of bodybuilders think you can't have all that and still make these kind of improvements and be one of the best.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that, is challenging to balance for sure. Balancing dad life and being a good father and, a good partner for my wife, Marissa, and just being a family man. Like I want to do all that and do it the best way that I can, and being able to enjoy every single moment while, chasing my dream. I'm really trying not to just get stuck in my mind is only in one thing. Now it's like, okay, well, I have to like really be here for, a family now. So it's definitely way different and it's challenging for sure because, in this lifestyle, taking it to the extreme and trying to become the best man in the world at something, it takes an extreme level of dedication, which, requires a lot of isolation, which, doesn't go hand in hand with trying to be, as good of a family man as you can. But I'm loving it. It's challenging me in every way possible. My patience, just everything.
Yeah.
And time managing skills, everything like that. I mean, even though I had a lot of that in the military. But yeah, it's just a whole different life. It's like, it's as if life really just began, everything else up until, the day my son was born was just like, I mean, you're living, but you don't realize what life is meant to be until you're living for your family, so it's nice.
Yeah. I mean, I never mean to isolate people who don't have children or make them feel bad or anything. But I think it's hard for anyone who doesn't have kids just to understand that, oh man, it's like a different kind of love that you didn't know you were capable of until you became a parent. This like overwhelming desire to protect this person and, make sure they have everything they need and they're happy and healthy. And, it's never going to end. I'm letting you know right now. My daughter's 28 and my wife and I, we still nag her like she's like 8 years old. So,
Man. Yeah. I mean, you're right on with that. I mean, you really don't understand until it happens to you. So it's an incredible blessing. And, it's just something that, as tough as it may be for, people or, everyone's got their own situation, just try to really embrace it and enjoy every moment. And that's what I'm trying to do.
Cool, man. So. Yeah, I don't want to make this all about marriage. I just want to say one last thing is the great Lee Haney, 8-time Mr. Olympia, used to repeat this all the time. Joe Weider asked him one time when he was first coming out to California, when he was very young, said, Lee, is there a special somebody back home? And he's like, yeah, well, why? It's like, marry her. It'll keep you grounded and this and that and make you happy and this and that. And so I always think of that. All right, let's get to the bodybuilding stuff, shall we?
Let's get to it.
Here's a statistic about you that I don't think many people know as far as your competitive history. You have only done, correct me if my numbers are off, 6 classic physique shows as a pro versus I counted 15 in men's physique that you had done.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how many men's physique pro shows I did, but I did quite a few.
Yeah.
I did a hell of a lot of men's physique pro shows, but let me see: Tampa, New York, Olympia, Texas Pro, Arnold, Hawaii. I did 6. Did you say 6?
Yeah.
So right. I have done 6. 2 of them being, one being the Mr. Olympia, and the other being the Arnold Classic, and 4 pro shows.
Yeah.
4 pro shows.
So the point of me saying that is you're really young in this division when you think about it. It's boggling when you look at that. I go, that's all the shows he's done. That's it.
Yeah.
And you've made, if you look at the first show, was it 2019 Tampa? Was your first?
2019 Tampa.
Yeah. The look you had then, the physique you had then, right, compared to what you have now, it's literally night and day. It's drastically improved. While keeping the waist small, which is, that's like the holy grail. Not a lot of people ever really crack that code. So
thank you so much.
So you qualified for the Olympia already, obviously, back in, it was November, that show, the Sean Ray Hawaiian Classic.
Yeah, late November. I think it was like November 20th, roughly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been qualified since basically right after the Mr. Olympia. So
okay. So obviously a lot of people would assume you're not going to be on stage again until the Olympia, and maybe that is the best strategy. Give me like the pros and cons, why you might want to compete in that 13th month stretch, or why you would not want to compete in that time.
Well, you see, this is the very first time in my entire career that I've ever been able to essentially go from, the Mr. Even though I didn't compete in the Mr. Olympia, I still qualified. I think it was 6 weeks after the Mr. Olympia I qualified. So in my head, that's basically just as long as, say, the champion, or years ago, how the entire top 5 could qualify immediately and they wouldn't have to do a show. So this is my very first time being able to do that. And, usually I do 3 shows, sometimes 4 shows a year up until I got to Classic. I've only done 2 shows a year since I moved into this division, but I used to compete a lot, and I never really had the opportunity to, really focus on a very strong off season. And being right now, like how long I've been going into Classic now, not that long, like you just spoke on earlier, but 3 years now, I really know what I'm trying to have. Like, I know every body part that I'm trying to get to, and I'm just really dialed in, mentally. So having this amount of time, I feel like I can make that quantum leap and close a little bit of the gap between me and the top of the division. So that's why I'm taking this amount of time off.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's a good amount of time to be able to bring up any issues that you feel you might have with physique. So what kind of improvements have you already seen since you won back in November?
Oh man, everything. Honestly, overall, my entire shape has improved because, I'm constantly, doing touch-up work in my garage as well. Really focusing on the small muscles that I'm trying to really isolate and really bring up. So I can train little body parts, every couple of days, and make vast improvements on that. Plus, I can pose in there, and it just works out. But I don't really know what the most improved would be, and I don't want to say what has and be wrong. So whenever the Mr. Olympia comes, or actually I'll be guest posing for Lila Brada Classic August 6th in the Woodlands, Texas. So that's whenever you'll be able to see me on stage next.
Oh, right on.
And you'll have a pretty good idea of how exactly this off season's going. So
yeah, well, I mean, you are one of those people that does share that as content on your Facebook and your Instagram. So you're never hiding your physique under like sweatshirts and stuff like that. You got a posing video, I think, every couple of days, like anyone
Yeah.
who's, because you're in shape. Why not?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm definitely enjoying the process, and staying in shape, and knowing that I can still post a picture and be like, oh yeah, it looks decent
Right.
for being where we're at. So it's also motivating because you still get the comments of people saying, oh, you need to work on this. And, like I already know these things,
Right,
so it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
more like, okay, well, it's gonna happen. I know it needs to be done. So if people are still seeing weakness somewhere, then I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna target it, and come December time, everything's gonna be really refined. So
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't remember any glaring weak points. I just thought keep
yeah,
the proportions you have and just get them a little bit bigger and fuller. And the condition that you always bring anyway, that's
thank
your ace in the hole. I'll put all that together, and that's a very dangerous person. Um,
thank you. I'll
I
take
wouldn't.
it. There's a couple areas that I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
cut you off.
no. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm continue with that. The areas.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say there's a couple areas that I really can see. They might not be glaring weakness, but I know that if I accentuated them more, it would make a drastic difference. So from where they're at to where I want them to be, I would say I'm really trying to target my calves
Okay.
and my lower lats as well, because my lats connect all the way down to my waist.
Oh,
They're just not full. They're not filled in. And I once I can get the development, over time, however long it's going to take, just squeezing the muscle, but I'm going to get there eventually. And whenever I do, it's gonna be glorious. One of those,
yeah.
finally. But calves and lats, lower lats especially, and then I feel once I'm there, then I'll be where I want to be proportion wise. So
Yeah, and the good news is, if you want to do what Arnold did with his calves, supposedly cut his sweatpants off, we have shorts in this day and age in 2022. You shouldn't have to
yeah.
destroy any clothing to do that.
Oh
I
yeah.
also, but speaking of your training, I know I was watching the videos of you out in Vegas a few months ago with Milos, put you through those crazy the giant set workouts and everything. And I know back home you're in Texas, you train with Cash Guidry, correct?
We were doing some training, but we haven't trained since shoot. I think we've trained a couple times this year, but
Okay.
I've been training with Hunter Labrada,
Oh,
yeah, Jordan Vanderflyer, and Ryan Brown. We've been over at the Labrada facility,
oh,
training at their headquarters gym. It's like a completely private facility,
yeah.
and it's just really nice. Everyone in there is really driven,
Wow.
and it's a change up of how I've been training too. So I feel it's going to shock the body a little bit differently this year,
Hmm.
and hopefully see some improvements, some bigger improvements, from doing so.
Yeah, I mean, that has to be incredibly motivating because
Yeah,
he's another guy who's very, very hungry right now. He really
yeah,
wants to move up. He's make the work ethic on that kid is it's insane. So that has to be just being in that atmosphere. I know you're already driven. You have a lot of dedication, determination anyway, but you can't help but be around people like that. That
oh yeah,
that aura, man.
yeah. The atmosphere, it can't be any better for sure. Everyone in there is mega focused and motivated to be better at what they're doing. So
Yes.
it just works. It lifts everyone up for sure.
Okay. Another area I want to ask about improvement on. It's already at such a high level. You're posing right now. You're one of my top 2 or 3 people in the entire industry to see pose. Your Rough Diesel is still incredible, but your routines are up there. I wonder, are you taking that to the next level this year as well?
Oh, of course, of course. I am one of the most competitive people you will ever meet, and the moment I realize that I can do something or be good at something, and then I start doing the things necessary to make myself better, and then it pays off. Like for example, I beat Terrence Ruffins in the Arnold Classic for the Best Poser Award um, last year. So things like that motivates me to make me go even further. So I'm definitely working on my posing. I'm working on my routine for the Mr. Olympia right now already, and
Nice.
I'm about 3/4 of the way done with it. So I
Wow.
plan on having it. I plan on it being the most epic routine you've ever seen. So
Wow.
that's the goal with it. I know that's a lot, but that's
No.
always the goal. That's definitely always the goal for coming in for a performance and trying to shock the world like that. So, and it's something that I feel like I have to do it. You know, a lot of people said that I shouldn't have beaten Terrence for the award and this and that. Well, I want to show that I can still, I'm right there. I can pose with him, and I might be the only guy that can do so. So bringing a routine like that to the Mr. Olympia, I think is really vital. So
yeah, I mean, that's one reason your division is growing so fast, because the guys, so many more of the guys in Classic put some real effort, some time into making good routines. I was at the Indie Pro, and I'm not going to name any names, so don't ask anybody. There were more than a few guys I saw with no routine. It was so clear. They would repeat the same poses. They would pause for too long. I'm like, he's winging it. He did not come up with anything. So to see that, and then to see someone like you or Terrence or the new guy, Ursus, is good too. That really puts time, wants it to be an awesome routine that everyone's going to remember, everyone's going to talk about, and everyone's going to go back on YouTube and watch that routine for a long time. You know, like the one you did at this Texas Pro last year. That was so good. Didn't they have you come and do that as like a guest posing during the open show the next day?
Yeah. See, what happened was at the Texas Pro, they cut my music off after a certain time period. I don't remember what the time was. And I was only like 6 or 7 poses into my routine, and I was like, wait, what? I thought that something had happened too. Like, I thought the music had just went out and it was about to pick back up. So I kept posing, and then it didn't come on, and I was like, oh well, this is awkward. Then I just kind of finished my routine and got off the stage. So yeah.
Oh, what is the time limit? Is it like 2 minutes or something?
I think it's 2 minutes. Yeah.
I always wondered, is that like league wide, or is that at the discretion of each promoter?
No, I'm pretty sure it says in the rules that it's 2 minutes long.
Okay.
For the Classic division. The open guys, they get 3 minutes.
Okay.
I wish they would give us 3 minutes, you know, since we're, you know, putting a lot of emphasis in our posing and trying to bring performances like that, you know. But you know, 2 minutes. My routine for the Olympia, I have it just under 2 minutes, just so there's no kind of mess up, no music cut off or anything like that. So I want to really be able to deliver a routine, you know, in the time frame that they give us. So
okay. So, you know, another thing I wonder if it's very motivating for you, adds a little fuel to the fire, is I've said this before about your division. Classic has the most amount of new talent that's already at a very high level as soon as you start. Like Urs last year, Ramondino, they came on the scene very quickly. This time last year, I had never heard of Urs Kalachinsky. I had never heard of Ramondino, Rocha, whatever his actual name is. I think but now, I mean, they're already, guys rise so fast. So you're sitting here on sidelines because you're already qualified. Does that add motivation for you to see how good these new kids are?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I've really just been trying to focus on, you know, what's at the very top and trying to figure out how does someone beat that guy at the top. You know, I know that there's going to be new guys every single year coming in that are going to be dangerous and that are going to have what it takes to be right up there. So, you know, as long as I'm focusing on the champ and trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to do to close my physique in on his physique and then be able to take his physique out. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm focusing on. So, which is already enough motivation that I need. You know, I'm not, like I said, I'm not looking at anybody else really.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 3 titles in a row now, correct?
Yeah, three in a row.
That's the GOAT for now, as far as the division goes. It's a youthful division.
You got to say it. You got to give it to him. He's done great.
I love that physique. I think he looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, and he's good. He's a good guy too. So we can see by the shirt, you are now a member of Team GAT.
Yes, sir. Yeah, just this month. So
cool. So how did that come to be?
Sunlight.
No,
what's that?
I said, how did that come to be?
Oh man, you know, I was talking to somebody that was wanting to get me with GAT about 6 or 7 months ago. Last year was around the time that I was going to the Arnold Classic, but we ended up not, you know, creating anything out of it. Like, we didn't talk anything, like any kind of deal or anything. And we came back to negotiations here about a month and a half, 2 months ago, and I could tell that they were, a really motivated company, and I'm very motivated as well. And in the way that they support their athletes, I've seen it for so many years. Guys like Regan, Sadiq, how they really focused around the athlete and helped brand with the athlete. I mean, I feel like they just do a really good job at that. So super excited about the signing for sure.
Yeah. So you've had a little while to be sampling products. You already have a favorite?
I don't know if I have a favorite yet, but the Nitroflex and Pump Tropic combination is their pre-workouts. That's what I've been taking the most, and the Carbotine as well. I didn't have any carb powder for my intra workouts, so that's amazing as well, like having that in there. But the Nitroflex is really hardcore. I'm not gonna lie. The first time I took it, I took a full scoop, and it even says you need to kind of figure out your tolerance, and I just went full scoop, and it was a lot.
You didn't climb on the roof of your house or anything, did you?
I think I was awake until maybe 3 a.m. and I took my pre-workout at like noon, so it was pretty powerful. Yeah.
God.
I'm caffeine sensitive though. I don't take many pre-workouts, so I just kind of went all in. Yeah.
Just a heads up to anyone who tries that product. Half a scoop.
Start with a half a scoop. Yeah. Start with a half a scoop for sure.
It'll last you twice as long too. Yeah. Man, so that's cool to have a new support system there, and man, the family stuff. This is feeling like everything's really coming together for you over the past year or so. I saw you switch divisions, and then struggling to do all this stuff, and now it really everything seems to be getting into the position it needs to be for, especially at this point in time.
Yeah, definitely. That's how I would put it. I mean, everything is definitely falling into place. My family life, just where I'm at, mentally, everything is so good. It's right timing. Just got the biggest signing of my life with Gap.
Nice.
And it's just, everything is running so smooth. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited. I feel like I said earlier, I feel like I'm finally really in tune with my physique, and I'm getting better, and I know I have what it takes to go all the way with this. And that belief is going to carry me, and I'm going to keep busting my ass and working every single day until I make it a reality. So
yeah, man,
really focused.
I mean, you've taken it to a whole other level with the physique from where it was at 3 years ago. The posing has improved. Man, my goodness, you were nothing like that as a poser a few years ago.
Yeah,
it's just been fun to watch, man. You're fun to watch, because somebody who just really keeps head down, works hard. You've always been humble, hardworking, and just so dedicated. I love to see people like that just make that rise. So
I appreciate that, Ron. Cool. Yeah, it's been a journey for sure. I mean, switching from men's physique to a bodybuilding division, and not really knowing what I was getting myself into, just trying to do it to see if I could be good at it. And sorry, I'm trying to dodge the sun.
That's following you.
But I mean, my first show at the Tampa Pro, I remember everyone was really knocking me on my posing and saying how horrible I was at posing, and just how much that motivated me into now what it's becoming. So, but everything happens the way it needs to happen. You got to go through the adversities, you got to go through the journey, and let everything happen, how it needs to happen, so you can become who you're meant to be.
Right on. Yeah. And you got a great team. You're still working with Milos, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I mean, the improvements I've seen just since you started working with him, I got to know, do you do the intra shakes all the time as well?
Every time that I have the supplements for it, I do the intra shakes.
Okay.
Whenever I'm out of carb powder and stuff, I just kind of forget about it. I'm not going to bullshit you. Okay. But whenever I have the supplements, like if it's in my house, I'm using it. And Cool. Now we have the supplements.
Yeah. So. Check on that, because I think Milos is really doing a good job spreading the message about intra workout nutrition. You know, guys
Yes.
like John Meadows used to talk about it all the time too, but I see more and more people taking advantage of it. And I think it actually, just looking at improvements on those people that I know are doing it.
Oh yeah, for
I
sure.
have to say it's got to work. It's got to work.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure Milos created the whole intra workout shake. So,
He did.
I mean, his knowledge about the, shuttling nutrients into your muscle in and around your workout, it's second to none. It's the guy that pretty much, brought it together. So, I mean, he is the mind. That's what they call him, is the mind. So,
That's right. That's right.
yeah, it's really good. It's really nice working with him.
Cool. Well,
So,
I know you've had a long day. You were
yeah.
watching your son, probably trained, probably did all kinds of stuff today. So thank you so much, Logan Franklin, for taking the time, watching your journey. Again, fun, motivating. See somebody like yourself really, really getting after it every day like that. And that's it. Guys, thanks for watching Ronline Report with this man, Logan Franklin. We'll see you next time.